Okay, all right. We are live. We got a deal today. Let's see. Subto deal. What I wanted to go through today is how do we quickly rule out this deal for affordable housing? So, this property never been in Kansas before, so let's just take a quick look at 158 South Forest View Court, Wichita, Kansas 67235. I'll pull up the listing right here. Boom. There it is right there. 4-bed, 3.5 bath, 2967 square feet. Existing mortgage balance $383,000. So there's $13,459 in arrears, which tells you why this property is being sold to sub 2, because the seller is likely in some pain because they owe some money. All right, the interest rate is 5.75%. The monthly PITI is $33.49. The principal breakdown here is $440 principal, $18.29 interest. I'm assuming the other is property taxes and insurance, and then there's also an HOA of $350. All right, so that's a covenant. Vacant cash at close is $34,000, so that includes this arrears of $13,000, and then there's probably commissions and assignments. So we'll put that in. Now, the goal, what I want to go through today is how do you quickly look at this deal and not spend more than a minute on this? Okay, so if I wanted to not spend more than a minute, I'm not even going to look at these properties condition reports yet. All right, I'm going to go here and I'm going to look it up on its accounting. So the county for this property is Sedgwick County. So I'm going to Google HUD FMR. When I Google HUD FMR, I'm going to go to open the Access Small Air FMR, look up F2024 FMR, look up Kansas, and look Sedgwick County. And this property is going to be, what zip code is that? 67235. 67235. And you're going to see here that the rent ceiling here for a 4-bedroom is $24.70. Okay, $24.70. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to go to my affordablehousing.com. I'm going to go to the owner section, market rent estimator. I'm going to plug in the address here. Let's see if it plugs in. When I plug in the address, and for 4-bedroom, what's the average rent? It says right here that the rent for a 4-bedroom is $16.64. So you're nowhere close to the rent ceiling of $24.70. And this is the rent that you have to use for your property because of the rent reasonableness test. It states that for 25 units within a 1.5 mile radius, which is a relatively short radius, well, if that's your market rent, then there's no way at $16.74, if that's your rent, let's even cost $1,700, and you see that your PITI is $33.49, right then and there, I would have stopped analyzing it, okay? But for the purpose of today's underwriting process, let's go through it. So you can see why I quickly brought this deal when you actually see the numbers kind of flow out, all right? So let's take a quick look at the condition of the property. This looks pretty much, you could argue that this is pretty turnkey, and it's lakefront. It's a beautiful home. So look, just because it doesn't work for a long-term rental doesn't mean someone doesn't want to buy it or someone doesn't want to live there, right? So something for you to consider. All right, so now that we got all these details, let's go ahead and plug in these numbers. So the purchase price of this property, what is the purchase price? I'm just going to do the existing mortgage balance. Doesn't even matter because I want to show you the cash flow number, which is the most important number. Show you this. So equals 383.46 plus arrears. How much is it arrear? I mean, plus $34,000 for the entry costs. Okay, so now for my renovations, I think it's going to be relatively turnkey. So I can go in here and just assume that I just need to paint the place, and that's all to do. So at $29.67, let me go ahead and put it in for $3 a square foot. I'll replace 2 of the toilets just in case there's any issues there. I'm going to assume that half the place needs to be painted, $29.67 divided by 2. And then we got landscaping and $1,500 for the roof. And now all of a sudden, we look pretty good. That leaves me with an $8,000 rehab for a $3,000 square foot home. Not bad at all. Now, then I want to look at what's going on with my rent. I mean, my mortgage. So if I look at this deal right here, The mortgage balance is $383,046. Interest rate is 5.75%. I got these. I don't care about the loan dates because I'm just going to care most about the monthly PITI number, which is 3349. So knowing that it's 3349, I'm going to come to the property taxes. I'm going to equals 3349. I'm going to subtract the principal and subtract the interest. And that's how I'm going to get my property tax numbers and my insurance costs for this property. Pretty expensive. I'm gonna lower my insurance by another $30 to $30 because yesterday I was looking at Florida. Florida insurance is typically very, very expensive, but I'm gonna leave it at $30. All right. 10% for maintenance. The HOA for this property was $350. I got 8% for property management. This is probably in a really nice area. So I assume that, hey, if this property was really rented on Section 8, chances are they're not going to move out for a really long time. So I'm going to lower the vacancy to 3%. But if you look at the numbers, this is why I ruled it out, right? It was a whopping negative $2,000 loss. Wait, hold on one second. I'm sorry. Let me update the rent. It's going to be a bigger loss because the market rent is what? What was the market rent on this property? Market rent on this property was $1,675. So $1,675, you're actually going to be losing $2,400. Hopefully that makes it really clear on why I ruled out the deal way earlier, right? The whole reason why I didn't go through the entire underwriting process is because why? If you want to avoid burning out and you want to avoid doing so much work for no results at all, then you have to develop a process for how do you quickly run it. Hi, Soleil, what are you doing? The dog? Yeah. Yeah. I love you. Okay. Sorry, guys. So that's why we ruled out this deal at a 4-bedroom, and we could write down all these numbers so you guys can kind of remember it, right? What was the FMR? 67235. 67235. The FMR was 2010, and then for a 4-bedroom, it was 2470. But because of the rent reasonableness test, you cannot charge 2470. Right. And don't forget, sometimes the FMR also includes utilities. So there's no way that's your rent. But when you compare that to what we saw on affordablehousing.com, where we saw it was $1,664 for 25 units within a 1.5-mile radius, this is the rent that you have to use at $1,674, not $2,470, because you cannot charge more rent simply because they are a voucher holder for the obvious reasons. You know that this might be the most valuable or highest rent zip code, right? According to this, it's probably the top area in this county based on this HUD chart. But still, you cannot charge more rent because of the rent reasonableness test. And because of that, that's how you quickly rule out this deal. And you don't spend more time than you need to on this deal, right? So let's walk through, right? What did we do when we ruled out the deal? We looked at this spreadsheet. We looked at the deal description. We quickly looked at the arrears, the monthly PITI of 3349. Then what did we do? We looked at the property. We got the county. We got the HUD FMR. We saw the rent was 2470. We saw that the market rent was 1675. Right then and there, in less than 30 seconds, I saw that 1675 was way below the monthly PITI. And in 30 seconds, that's how you quickly move on from this deal. And I hope this was helpful. Every week we go through one of these exercises because I'm not sure who's seeing what, but I think the skill of quickly ruling out a deal is so important because otherwise you spend so much time analyzing these deals and you're going to burn out. So why do I do this? The whole point of this is so that you all can copy my homework. Think about it. If you just go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Kent_HE. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate that. If you just go to my live section and look at all the deals that I've looked at, you will see all the deals that were not deals. And if you are afraid and you don't know where to get started or you don't know how to build your brand, well, just copy my homework. That could be the first step. Copy my homework, put it on your own YouTube channel, and act like it's your own work, which I'm completely okay with. And analyze the same property using the same spreadsheet. Pick one thing I'm saying, but say it better, use a better analogy, clarify something a little bit more, and boom, that's it. There's no way you can't get better at underwriting deals or analyzing deals. And when the time comes for you to pull your trigger on your first deal, you're probably going to be much more confident than you are today at pulling the trigger. And when a partner asks you, hey, why do you think this is a deal? Well, you can point them to your own YouTube channel and say, I know this is a deal because I looked at 216 other deals and they were all not deals. And now all of a sudden you have a resume of deals that proves that you know what you're doing. That proves that you've been looking at this every single day. That proves to other people that you're consistent and you keep up with it no matter what. And you're a person that has no excuses. I was live. I was analyzing deals even during my 12-year anniversary with my wife. And my wife's like, you going to work during our anniversary? And I said, yeah, because the skill I'm working on this year is the skill of having no excuses. You will always have a reason not to do something. You will always have a reason to break your habits. So that's when discipline comes in. If you learn how to not have excuses, you're just going to keep on going. And that's it. That's really the game. Your game is to outlast everybody. And I hope you all take this seriously. This is how we get better. If any of you want the spreadsheet, just DM me on Instagram, your email at investwithkenthe. I will happily have my assistant Pia send the deal analyzer to you. I've been very fortunate. I've been given the spreadsheet by other folks. I don't take credit for it, but I modified it to meet how I quickly analyze deals and to meet my use case of using it for Section 8 long-term rentals. That's it. Got a rehab spreadsheet in there that I modified and tweaked based on the prices that I've seen for my own rehabs. So have an amazing Friday, everybody. I'm really glad we got to spend some time together today. Thank you so much for being a part of the affordable housing and real estate investing community. I so appreciate it. Thank you so much for caring about affordable housing. Because without people like you, I would have never had the home I grew up in. And for that, I'm really appreciative of it. All right. Have an amazing Friday with everybody. I hope you guys spend some quality time with your family and friends today. That's what it's all about. I'm going to go play with my daughter. And I'll see you all tomorrow for day 217. Let's keep it going, okay, everybody.